Hi, greetings, good morning, good afternoon, or evening from wherever you are within the world. You're onto the Simple Consultant. I'm also known as Augustine. And today I'm going to give us a very quick broadcast. Welcome to a new week. This is my special week. I call this my special week because so much is going to come my way this week. And I'll be having, first of all, my priorities are set to bring in merchants to the community. That's my utmost priority. So I'm going to bring in a good number of merchants to the community. And then these are merchants that I'm going to grow, I'm going to cultivate, I'm going to brood, I'm going to make sure that they understand the vision, the mission, and the goal of TBC to eradicate poverty on a global scale. That's my first priority. The second priority that I have for this week is to make sure that I prepare for the coming Christmas. And a number of people has been going about attending retreats, and then those retreats are very good grounds to prepare yourself for Christmas. I'm talking of the Christian food here. So everyone is actually excited, kinda. And this week, let me tell you, within the Kringle Private Society, a number of things are going to be corrected, which I'm going to quickly talk about. And then when I finish talking about it, I think that will be all. And I make one or two updates on how next year is going to look like. I mean, how the Kringle Private Society is going to resemble by the year 2021. So I'll need to log into my account. And when I log into my account, then I go into the content of what I have to talk about. And then I say a number of things, and then I call it quits. So this is going to be a very wonderful week. Currently, I'm at my place of work, and we're rounding off for the week. We're rounding off for the year. After this particular week, I don't think there'll be any other activity that we'll be having. Yes, we're supposed to come to work as usual, but we're talking of serious activities. Most things are going to be postponed to the following year, which is the year 2021. And the year 2021 will have so much to offer us. The year 2021 will have very, very wonderful opportunities. And I must also tell you that the elites has plans too concerning us, which are their so-called slaves, in quotes. For the year 2021, they are not backing down on the corona. They are still fighting down on it to make sure that they achieve their goal on a global scale. And what's their goal? They say it's so scary and that everyone needs to be vaccinated. That reminds me, if you're just logging into my account for the first time, I would appreciate it if you can subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up. If what I say is making good sense to you, you could also click on the bell button, and then anytime I'm live, you will get my notifications, okay? Yeah, so back to what I was saying, I was talking about the guys that are working on making sure that they lock down on us, which are their, in quotes, slaves. One of the things they are going to do beginning from the first quarter of next year is to ensure that, firstly, every international flight are going to make sure that those who will board them are going to be vaccinated. These things are actually put into plans to make sure that they implement it. But the question I'll ask you, do you think these guys are going to achieve their goal? You know, remember that my topic for today is the idea of how next year TBC community will look like. That's my title. So you're welcome to my broadcast, and then I'll take my time, one step at a time, to explain all that you need to know. Now these informations are gathered information that I've been able to put down from the meetings that we've been having, the mass adoption meetings that we've been having. So as much as I can, I will explain it to the best of my understanding, and then after that, I'll call it quits for the day, and then go into some other activities that I have. So I'll share my screen, and then we'll begin. All right. So I think my screen is now being shared. Now, first of all, let me come to this place. This is the first content that I will look into. Now, this was the latest updates that came up from the IT desk. And I talked about this one in my previous broadcast, but then we're going to bother about this. Don't forget about Noity Lover. Noity Lover is our social media page. Now, that social media page is the future private Facebook or private social media. I wouldn't call it Facebook because Facebook, they censor all your information. My Facebook account was hacked, and I've been trying to register to get another Facebook account, and they have refused me access because I am a product of truth, not a product of a lie. And they are censoring the truth and making sure that anyone who is not in support of their ungodly agenda, they shut the person down. So this is a very short content that the IT personnel has given us, but then I'm going to quickly elaborate. I'm going to elaborate on the content and then throw a bit more light on it, and then I'll delve into one or two other things, and I'll call it quits. All right, so let's begin. This was done on 11th of December, and most likely today or tomorrow, they are also going to give up another notification. Between Monday being today and Wednesday, they are going to give another notification based on this content that they've actually penned down. Now, let me read it out. They have said that Kringle Gifts for new signups is now posting to wallets. Now, what does this simply imply? It simply means that those of us who has been in this mass adoption team and has been bringing in merchants to the community should feel comfortable now going back out there to bring in more merchants, knowing fully well that you won't just register them into the Kringle Cash, you're also going to register them into their wallets to have a wallet account. Now, I would strongly advise that you take your time. It's not about bringing in merchants that it ends. It doesn't just end in bringing in merchants to this community. You have to educate your merchants on what they are supposed to do. You know that these merchants know nothing. They don't know anything about Kringle Private Society. Their mindset is they want their goods to be advertised and then advertised to over 1 billion people over time. Now, that's how I make them understand that you're not just limiting yourself to a few group of people, but then as the day goes by, a larger set of people have access to your services or to your goods. And as a matter of fact, with the application that we are going to help you to create, you can send it to your customers and they are going to carry you in their pocket. Whenever they need services from you, they can make their orders and you can make deliveries to them, provided they pay for their logistics, because you are not going to house logistics costs. They will take that responsibility. The bottom line is to make things easier for both sides, both your customers and yourself being a merchant, okay? Now that said, there's going to be a higher or an upgrade of this merchant application next year. And that upgrade is going to allow what you call a payment section. There'll be a payment section in this our merchant app where there'll be different mediums of payment. You can make payments possibly with cash. You can also make payments with Kringles and with Bitcoin. These are things that are going to likely take place within the first or second quarter of next year. And I believe that the administration will be in a better position to throw more light on it coming the year 2021. Now, that said, it's advised that we go out there and then bring in these merchants. You see, bringing in merchants is like building relationships. You can't build a haphazard relationship. Relationships should be built, first of all, with love and respect. There are so many avenues you can use to bring in members or merchants to the Kringle Private Society. One of the ways to bring them in is by making use of Noity Lover. You can make use of Noity Lover to educate your merchants, to make them understand that there are some people that want to microchip the entirety of humanity and that we are in opposition to what these people are doing, and also in conjunction or in advancement to what the governments on a global scale are doing. It baffles me to see that all governments across the world has united at the top and they have agreed to enslave the entirety of humanity. And humanities are just sitting down and watching to see how they are going to do it. Well, I believe that sensitizations are taking place underground and people are getting informed of what these people want to do. And they know the content of what these vaccinations are. You should also know that these vaccinations are not going to stop at one time. They are not just going to do one-time vaccination. They'll keep doing more and more until they have completely dehumanized you and then transhumanized you and changed you into something that you never anticipated that you were. It's in your hand. You are the one that will decide if they are going to succeed or they will fail. If humanity unites, that's the reason why we have Noity Lover. Noity Lover has so much content that if you are in this particular place, you are going to understand how to get together, and in unison, you are giving the same information that would arm you with the right mind, with the right understanding to be able to say no to what these guys wants to do. And you should also be aware that until they have succeeded in going about vaccinating people, this idea of going about 5G is not going to work, because this vaccination is in agreement with 5G technology. And with 5G technology comes the collapse of the banking systems. And then everything goes absolutely cashless. Whether we like it or not, between now and the next 5 years, there's going to be a wipeout of cash economy. There's going to be a wipeout of fiat economy. It's very likely that the system is going to be sent back to the old system where things were what? Were backed up by gold. Remember, Kringles are not backed up by gold. Kringles are not pegged to the market price values of gold. Kringles are not any form of security. Kringles do not belong to anybody. Kringles is a community medium of exchange that we use exclusively for members within ourselves, members and merchants, for purchase of goods and services. That's what we are. So if you are a person that has the mind of humanity at heart and you want to save humanity, please, the best place to find yourself is in this Noitilova website. There are 1,001 informations that you can explore using this website. And I would crave your indulgence that you take your time to unite. Peradventure, you have not yet united. My link is below this particular video. You can check on the link. This is my link. You don't need to bother yourself. Just check at the link below. I have already put it there. Copy this link and get yourself united. Because every time you unite, you are what? Creating knowledge, and you are spreading the right information so that people will not be taken aback or unawares. The media are not helping matters. The social medias are not helping matters. The mainstream medias are not helping matters. Everything has united in wickedness to make sure that you and I will be compromised. And when you are compromised, even your God will reject you. Please, I want you to be very aware of this, because the information that we broadcasters are doing is to make sure that we are passing the right information in the right line of what the Kringle Private Society stands to achieve on a global scale, which is to end poverty, to end slavery, and to end control of man over man, because every man is sovereign, created in his image, in the image of the Almighty God. Now, I quickly go back to this. And then I was talking about this. So everybody who is a member in the community should build proper relationships with merchants and make sure that you follow up on these merchants until they understand. But then do not become a nuisance. It is what you call intelligent steps that you take to make sure that these things are achieved. If you do not follow the right approach or the right exercise to make sure that these merchants understand this, then I'm sorry, you are not qualified to hold the title of a billionaire or a millionaire. One thing I use to appreciate this Kringle Private Society is that things are done according to the right perspective. When you compare the current financial system and the current system of the world, you'll find out that the whole thing is already messed up. Now, some people make use of this slogan that monkeys do the work and then baboons make the money. Monkeys do the work and then baboons make the money. That's how the system has always been, where the lower class people do all the work and the glory goes to the upper class people. It's unfortunate that no matter how hard you work in life, provided you're not at the upper class limits, you only work to the benefit of the upper class. And those upper class, they are so lazy, they don't do anything. All they just do is sit down and then their accounts keep growing in value because you do all the work and the glory goes to them. We, as the Kringle Private Society, we are going to change the dynamics of how things are done across the world. You are to step up and then get the right mindset to make this difference. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I am paying emphasis on this first caveat that they are putting, this first instance that they are putting, this first sentence that they are putting, so that you, if you are going out to bring in merchants, it's not enough to just bring in merchants and get Kringles. No, you must make the merchants understand the vision and the mission of Kringles, and then make sure that they are following up. And that means you have to work. It's not done on a platter of gold. You have to work. If you're able to bring in 5 merchants in a whole month, it's more profitable than bringing in 10, 20 merchants, and then those merchants are idle, not even having an idea of what we stand to achieve on a global scale, at the short run and at the long run. All right? Now that said, let's quickly go into this. Remember that I said how next year TBC Kringle Private Society will look like. I'm actually yet to go into the full details of what I have. But I'll quickly talk about this and then talk about the full details briefly, and then I'll call it quits for today. I was supposed to talk about the Kringle Cash, but that may not be today. It may be in my maybe next video, maybe in my next instance. I don't know, but then let's see how it goes. So we are still working, as at the time this broadcast or this information was put down, we are still working, and indeed they are still working to make sure that these things are put into the right place, and then everything is done and everybody is happy. Okay. All right, so let's read it. Now, we are still working to restore send buttons and rewards for the last 2 months, and balance corrections. Please be patient. Now, this particular thing is making you to understand that in your Kringle Cash, let me see if I can explore my Kringle Cash. Now, in my Kringle Cash, let me go to my reward section, okay? And let's see if it loads. It's taking a while to load. Now, in my Kringle section, Kringle reward section, there are a number of updates. There are a number of rewards that I am supposed to enjoy because I have, at one point or the other, helped in building this Kringle private society. And you know one thing, the difficult thing about this system is the day you stop working is the day you start going down, because everybody is making one effort or the other to make sure that they remain in their positions or they build their positions to a better level. That's how our system is. So it is a race towards mass adoption. It's a race towards getting the huge chunk of the pie. The huge chunk of the pie is the wallets being distributed from the admin wallet to members within the Kringle Private Society. It's up to you. You are the one that will decide how it's to be done. Also, it's up to you to decide how well you educate your merchants so that they can be able to pay their subscription fee. And when they pay their subscription fee, you are entitled to having a 50% of it. Of course, everybody should know that it's no news anymore. Now, what these guys are trying to say is that from the month of November down to the month of December, that's the past 2 months, or for the month of October, I think October, November, and December, yeah, between these 3 months, that everything that is outstanding are going to reflect in your TBC 009. Now, when you look here and you look here and you look here, you see that there are a number of activities that I'm involved in, and I am still involving in. And if I'm involving in these activities, that means I am willing to see that the Kringle Private Society gets to the destination that they're supposed to get to. I do not know what you are doing as a member within the Kringle Private Society. Are you just folding your hands and are waiting for this TBC economy to get to economy phase? Well, if that's what you are doing, I do not know, but I don't think you are going to have what you are having in your wallet when that time comes, because based on meritocracy, rewards are given to those who are most worthy. And if you are not most worthy, well, you are going to be put to the place that best suits you. That's what we call meritocracy. Okay. Now, that said, let's go back to this particular place. Now, I've already talked about restoring send buttons and then talking about creating rewards or restoring the rewards, all those rewards that we're supposed to get, which I've actually shown you. Now, the main content of today's broadcast is very, very sensitive. And it's good I make everyone to realize, because if you do not realize this, you live in assumption. And when you make assumptions, well, assumptions are very, very deadly. So you shouldn't make assumptions. Now, in this Kringle Private Society, it's obvious. We already know. And about 300,000 members in this Kringle Private Society are having at least one whole TBC and above. And a good number of them, a huge chunk of them, over 90% of them, are sitting down idle, folding their hands and doing nothing. Now, let's make a case of Bitcoin. There were so many people who had so many millions and millions of Bitcoin. But today they've lost it. In fact, Bitcoin now has been lost and it's in limbo. Limbo meaning it doesn't exist anywhere. It's just at some point where you can't have access to it because it's all encrypted and it's security tight. So those people who have those coins were careless about it and then they've lost their coins. Do not be that person in our clinical private society because we are taking the same trajectory that the Bitcoin concept also took some time back, some 12, 10 years behind or 7 years behind, as the case may be. Now, as we enter into the year 2021, shortly we are going to fill out the billionaire positions. When we fill out the billionaire positions, then we are now going to face these 300,000 people who have at least one whole TBC coin. And then we will need to make sure that these guys are accountable to their coins. Before now, the administration has said that we should not pay emphasis on them because possibly they are busy or they are not concerned about the system. And the magnanimous administration wants to make sure that there is enough reasons to justify why those coins will be withdrawn from them. That's the reason why we as members in the community are trying to make sure that we create a habitable atmosphere by making sure that merchants accept a reasonable amount of Kringles, as little as 10%. If over 5,000 merchants are taking at 10% Kringles, then that means it's easier to spend Kringles. And there will be no reason why, as a member in the Kringle Provides Private Society and as a billionaire, you shouldn't subscribe for your monthly subscription fee and then patronize these existing merchants. You should also know that money is losing value. You should also know that inflation is on the rise. And anytime from now, hyperinflation takes place, money on a global scale loses value. Are you also aware that the systems across the entire world are now building wallets and then they are putting down their paper money system and then giving their citizens wallets to be able to do transactions coming the year 2021? So many things are happening. Do your homework. But I want you to realize that by the year 2021, once we have filled out the billionaire positions and there are enough merchants accepting Kringles as a medium of exchange, then it will be high time we held these billionaires accountable to their coins. And as many as these billionaires who refuse to stand up to upholding those coins, which is the amount of coins in their wallet. It may be 20 TBC, it may be 30 TBC. I don't know how many it may be. But if you are not willing to hold on to those coins and continue holding on to it by paying your subscription fee, I want you to understand that those coins will be given to those who are ready to uphold it. There is a principle that the administration makes use of, and it's simple. To whom more is given, more is expected. Now, to whom little is given, little is expected. You cannot come into this Kringle Private Society and answer the title of a billionaire without making any effort. This is not Bitcoin. You should know that TBC has no intrinsic value. The value is what? Based or hinged or weighed on the people who come into this community. We are the people who make the value. Okay, on its own, it has no value. We give value to this TBC community. And this value is weighed. It is measured on grains of gold. The only reason why TBC has value is because the people give it value. And we are worth more than everything in this world. And we weigh this value. We measure this value in grains of gold. We have no intrinsic value. We are not pegged to the market price value of gold. We are not backed up by gold. And we are not any form of security. We are a community-based medium of exchange. So when this time comes and the promotion, obviously there is a promotion going on and it was supposed to end December 31st, 2020, but then it has been postponed to the year 2021, January 31st, 2021. Okay, now that's because we want to empty the admin's wallet as much as having only 500 million TBC left in the admin wallet. Now, what is the fate of the entire TBC community when it is only 500,000 TBCs left in the admin wallet? Question, that's what I ask you. At that point, do you think we'll be able to have as many billions, as many billionaires as we should? Well, it only means that once we've gotten to that point, it would have become more difficult for members in the community to possess at least one whole TBC coin. It's going to be extra difficult. At this point, if you bring in one merchant you can get 1 TBC, okay? But because the promo is on, when you bring in one merchant, you get 1 TBC. And on top of that, we are also giving 10 extra TBC coins. This is because the admin wallet has to be brought down to a reasonable number. And then once it's 500 million versus the rest of the people who will be coming into the community, it's going to create a ripple effect called scarcity. In an abundance-based economy, you are going to start experiencing scarcity, so that no matter how hard you work, you will not be able to easily get one whole TBC. And until the billionaire positions are filled out, well, we are going to be able to get at least 1 TBC. And I can categorically state that before the middle of next year, this billionaire position is likely going to be filled out. How many people are supposed to be in the billionaire position? They are only going to be 1,111,111. These people are the billionaire positions. And these people are going to have at least one whole TBC and above. Those who have the bulk of TBC are the people that will take part in this promo, or the old members who stood up to their title as a billionaire. So I am calling upon you, whichever position you are, this is your opportunity to get 1 TBC. If you bring in one merchant or a member to the community, you are giving one whole TBC plus 10 TBC. If it's a merchant, totaling 11 TBC. If it's an ordinary member you bring into the community, you are giving 10 TBC. This TBC opportunity will soon come to an end. Like I said, during the time Bitcoin was still yet to come public, this was the same thing that happened. People played games. I witnessed when those people played those games, and they were getting Bitcoin just like it was worthless. You see, in this dispensation of TBC, it is going to happen like that, and memories will be told that people in this community attended meetings and they were paid over $20,000 for attending a simple meeting. So take yourself and then decide where you want to belong, okay? Because by next year, it's an abundance-based economy, but scarcity will set in. And it is the millionaires that will depend on the billionaires, because the millionaires would never have enough to justify themselves as millionaires. They will always need to go back to the billionaires. And as at then, there will be thousands and hundreds of thousands of merchants who are accepting Kringles in partial payments for exchange of goods and services, and the other percentage will be in cash. Now, shortly, cash will be wiped out of the economy. When cash is wiped out, it's very likely that we in the Kringle community will begin to work with Kringles at a whole level, no more in partial payments. Because as these elites are coming in and they are enclosing on us, they are going to continue to impose stricter and stricter regulations and control over you, because, of course, they see you as their slave. That's why they are doing everything possible to keep themselves in places of power. But if you refuse to accept being a slave, then the alternative is to join this Kringle private society as people who are living men and women, to say no to this their evil enslavement system, to say no to the microchip agenda. And if you do that, well, you have stood up for your right, and you are going to only be the better for it, okay? So I think I have said enough on that. It's up to you, whether you want to bring in 100 TBCs, have 100 TBCs, or 200, as the case may be. One thing you should know is that between now and the end of this week, everybody's wallet will be corrected. Everybody's wallet will be adjusted to conform to how it ought to be. Your Kringles in your Kringle cash back office will correspond with the required amount you're supposed to have in your TBC 009. And also, you are going to have a little more gift based on how effective you've been within this our community. So the choice is yours. The ball is now in your court. I think I have been able to make a reasonable broadcast for today. Please, if you like this broadcast, I would appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel. Also, click on the notification button so that anytime I'm live, you get that notification. So thank you very much. Let me return back. And one person is listening to me, and I do not know if the person should say hi. But then I think I've been able to pass on my information. So those of you who will be listening to this, my broadcast, please, I would appreciate it if you can share my video if the video made sense to you, okay? So till I come your way again, I do not know when that shall be, but hopefully before the week runs out. And do have a wonderful day. For those of us who will be attending the meetings, remember it's going to be by 2 a.m. for the broadcasters meeting and by 3 a.m. for the normal weekly meeting. I think I'm right. Yes. Broadcasters meeting 2 a.m., weekly meeting 3 a.m. And we're supposed to have mass adoption meeting by 4 a.m. Sorry, 4 p.m. for West African time, 2 p.m. Broadcasters meeting, 3 p.m. Weekly meeting. Broadcasters meeting, mass adoption team meeting has been postponed till December 11th, 2021. So thank you very much. Till I come your way again some other time. Cheers and be safe and refuse the agenda of the microchip. And together we shall glorify our God. Cheers and do have a lovely day. Bye for now.